All right. Today, the spot is this graffitied alley, low-key kind of tough. 10 out of 10 spot. All right. Gregory, Gregory Pappy Boyington is who we're talking about today. So let's get into it. Kicking off life. Gregory was born December 4th, 1912, in Idaho. He was first introduced to aviation when he was 6 years old with Clyde Pangborn, and Clyde Pangborn was the first pilot to fly over the Pacific Ocean. And so he moved to Washington later in life, where he wrestled at Lincoln High School. After he graduated in 1930, he went to the University of Washington, where he was the Pacific Northwest middleweight champion for a couple years. And so he was like actually good. 4 years later, he graduated with a bachelor's degree in aeronautical engineering. After college, he took the military route. And because of someone he met through the ROTC program, he was able to get a job as a Boeing draftsman before he eventually went to the Marines. He instructed in the Marines for 6 years until he volunteered to be a part of the Flying Tigers. And the Flying Tigers were an elite American fighter group that fought against the Japanese in World War II. It took down 296 enemy aircraft while losing just 14 pilots, and Pappy took down 28 of those planes. You can see the planes on the right. I think they look more like sharks, but I don't know. They were called the Tigers. All right, so on his 28th kill, Pappy was shot down by a Japanese Zero fighter. And they were called Zero fighters because they had like zeros on the wings. That was the design. And after being fished out by an enemy submarine, he spent 20 months as a prisoner of war. The Japanese never reported his capture because for reasons that were never fully debunked. And but the consensus was they just didn't want the Allies to know where he was. And the rumor in the US was that he just died in a crash, but the Marines listed him as missing in action. On August 28th, 1945, the camp he was at was liberated, and a few weeks later he received his Medal of Honor. And after that, he got a desk job, where he was pretty much just a Marine pilot manager. And one day, a group of fighter pilots were not ready to answer a call, and Pappy was able to put together a team of special replacement flyers, later nicknamed the Black Sheep Squadron. They were very underestimated, but in 12 weeks, they took out 94 enemy fighters, and they made U.S. headlines, Pappy being their leader. As Pappy neared the Marine record for taking down Japanese planes, the media wouldn't stop following him day and night. Many of his friends said that he had up to 4 reporters following him at any time. He wasn't on a mission. He even had to have one of his squad members represent him in interviews because they followed him so much. After the war was over, he wrote a memoir called Baba Black Sheep, and the world loved the book and it was a bestseller for over a year. But after this, he kind of peaked. So, the downfall. When the book came out, it was turned into a film series and it revealed how much that this guy really liked drinking. So, squadron veterans criticized the show by saying it made them look like all they did was party, which they claimed was untrue. And they also claimed that the flying drunk episodes were also untrue. Pappy would often get drunk and wrestle other pilots 10 plus years younger than him. This is actually where he earned the nickname Pappy. And post retirement, Pappy was deep in his addiction and bounced from marriage to marriage and job to job. He actually got a job as a beer salesman, but you can kind of guess why that didn't work out. And his addiction also greatly affected his health. So he never beat his addiction, rest in peace, forever young, and he died on January 11th, 1988. His stepmother reported that he found happiness in going to air shows. While his life went downhill, towards the end he was recognized as one of the greats with respect to World War II pilots, having accomplishments such as shooting down 28 Japanese aircraft, receiving a Medal of Honor, surviving being a prisoner of war, and most famously, creating and commanding the Black Sheep Squadron. And those are all my references. Thank you. And the show.